I'm Zandy Forbes and I'm the CEO of a company called Meira. We are a company that develops gene therapies, and I'm currently sitting in one of our labs, which is in Shoreditch in London, where the large majority of our work is on eye programs for inherited retinal diseases.
What work does your company do, and why is it revolutionary?
We use genes, so the messages that make the body make protein, as actual drugs. And it's revolutionary because it allows your body to actually produce the medicine itself based on that signal. And the most advanced programs that we have are inherited diseases, where someone has a broken gene and we're able to take a good copy of the gene, put it into the body, and then that replaces the missing gene that is causing the disease. Traditional gene therapy, or first generation gene therapy, involves putting a gene into the body, often when the gene is missing and it's an inherited disease, and then that gene is on for the rest of the life of that cell. And that's really useful when the body needs that gene and it's required for the rest of life. However, there are many ways that you can use gene therapy if you have the ability to switch it on and off. And that's what we've developed at Meira as a second generation of gene therapies. So we are now in the position where in our future products, we can turn the genes on and off with a pill.
What results have you achieved so far?
So our most advanced program is in an inherited retinal disease, and that is currently in a phase 3 study. So that is enrolling patients both in the UK and Ireland, Europe and the US. And that's a late stage study. We've completed the first stage study, and that first study showed that this treatment is generally safe and well tolerated, and we were able to show signs in many aspects of vision that treatment with this gene therapy improves the vision of patients with this inherited disease who would otherwise end up blind eventually. The men that were treated, it's an X-linked disease, so it was men treated, were treated in one eye. And what we showed is that in various different aspects of their vision, in particular in dim light, there appears to be an improvement in their ability to see. So one of the big problems with this disease, X-linked retinitis pigmentosa, is that early in the disease, as people start to go blind, they can't see in the dark, they can't see in dim conditions, inside when it's poorly lit, and it gets progressively bad and they eventually go blind. And the patients that we treated, some of them were able to do things like navigate through a maze more rapidly. They reported that they could see better in dark conditions. And they also, when we measured the sensitivity of their retina, they appeared to have an increase in retinal sensitivity. And all of those things together suggest that replacing this gene has a benefit for those patients who are missing it.
What more could you achieve with this technology?
So there's certainly the potential to use this for many genetic diseases. And in addition to genetic diseases, we also treat other serious diseases that are not genetic. So we have a program in Parkinson's disease, for example, where we're able to put a tiny dose of a specific gene therapy into the tiny part of the brain which controls movement and goes wrong in Parkinson's. And in doing that, we can rewire that part of the brain, and we've shown that we help patients with their movement defects in Parkinson's. So that's not inherited, and it allows us to change the signaling in the brain in a way that allows movement to occur more normally. So that's one of the things we treat. In research and discovery, in our gene-regulated constructs, we have created potential drugs, these are all in research, not yet in people, that address really important diseases, large diseases such as diabetes or other neurodegenerative diseases. We have a program for ALS, which is preclinical, so we've done a lot of work and created an optimized gene therapy to potentially treat ALS, which is a severe neurodegenerative disease, and not the inherited version, but the big version that most people get. So we use this technology and the second generation technology to really treat additional diseases, not just inherited diseases.
Why is your company so different from others doing gene therapy?
One of the things that has allowed us to develop a number of different gene therapies is that we have not only the labs that make and test the new gene therapies, but in this site in Shoreditch, we have the labs that have researched and invented a way of manufacturing those gene therapies. And in addition to that, right underneath us here, we have a gene therapy manufacturing facility which is approved to manufacture for clinical trials. So we go all the way from discovery, research, working out how you manufacture, to actual approved manufacturing, all in this close area. And that's actually helped us be much more efficient in our development of these products, and also in our ability to communicate with regulatory agencies, who then are the groups that allow you to use these products in people and approve them eventually. So our communications are also more efficient because all of our different groups communicate with each other and with global regulatory agencies. So it has been a lot more efficient, yes.
Will people eventually be able to live forever?
So what I just said about infectious diseases, neurodegenerative diseases or diseases of aging, and diseases of metabolism, by addressing those three really large health problems in the world, we should be able to increase people's life in a way that is not sci-fi, right? Those are big problems, and just those will enhance people's longevity as well as their quality of life and their health for however long they live. So are we targeting to change the length of time that people live? Really, we're looking at the diseases that affect us today, and in addressing those, we hope to increase the health and longevity of the population in general.
How is your research funded?
We may have got some small grants from Europe about 5 or 6 years ago, but the large amount of our funding has come from investors who are partly UK but largely US, as well as pharma company Johnson & Johnson invested in our company and pays for a lot of our work in the eye. So we didn't benefit to a huge extent from European grants. I would like to see the UK government really focus on advancing UK research in a meaningful way. I do think that that's more about encouraging investors than using government money, because it requires a lot of money. And to demand that taxpayers pay all that money, it's a difficult thing to do in a budget, but investors are willing to pay for this sort of research. And I think the UK government would do well to really encourage that investment in this country.
What are your plans for the future?
So at the moment, we have the capacity to manufacture commercially even from this facility here at Shoreditch for a product that's approved. So right now, we're not opening facilities in the UK. We do have an additional facility in Ireland, but as the company grows and we do additional research and additional work in the UK, we could obviously expand, and Shoreditch for us has been a great place to start, to grow, and we would continue to expand here as the company grows.